be honest with you, I never thought I would be ever able to speak clearly with my uncle. But tonight, out of a sudden, I find myself sitting inside his car on the starry night over the road, which is covered with lights. And I'm here sitting with him, speaking my heart out in a way that I have never done before. Up until this point, I was always this person who was basically scared of a masculine person. Tonight was different. I finally felt just being comfortable, just speaking my heart out towards somebody that I respected so much. In this case being my uncle. A feeling that I have missed since forever. It all began a few years back when out of a sudden, while we were learning about a book that we had to read in our class, out of a sudden we hear a knock on the door and he enters. It's our director. We stand up, say hello, show our respects. When out of a sudden I just look at him, he points at me and says, "Come with me, Christian." I just froze on the spot, and I don't know what the fuck did I do. I just literally, that was my only thought, that what the fuck did I do now? And he says, "Come with me." I just nervously make my first step forward, but then out of a sudden I just quicken up with my step because I didn't want to keep him waiting. We leave our classroom. Everybody is kind of weirded out because why out of everybody is he taking me? Like, I didn't do any trouble for the day. But we continue upward, and as we climb the stairs, I ask him, "Excuse me, director, did I do something wrong?" He just looks at me, smiles in a very kind way, and he just tells me to not worry, to just keep on following him. I do. And we go up to his office. I enter the office and I see someone very familiar inside there. The director, just before he closes the door, he says, "I will leave you two for a few minutes." The dude inside there says, "Thank you." And the director leaves. And as soon as he closes the door, he just gets up, walks to me, and just hugs me from his heart, slowly but surely tearing up. We sit down, and I'm still kind of confused and kind of scared as to what the fuck is happening here. It was my uncle. He wanted to see me. We haven't saw each other for maybe years, so we continue to talk very deep and personal questions. I'm still kind of confused and even nervous to answer, but we continue on to talk. And since that day on, bro, we have been hanging out together for a long time, but every single time I wasn't comfortable around him because he was honest. He was masculine, he was a man. Somebody that I have never had experience with before. Here I am talking with him on our many occasions, but I never actually felt comfortable just being myself around him. Not until I did my research, grew up as a person, and actually developed my own character. And then, on that same night, after I was coming back from karate, he just invites me into his car. I get in, and we have a deep, cold, good conversation between us. A conversation that I was always so afraid to do, but now it felt so natural. I finally felt comfortable just saying those words that were actually laying upon my heart. And before I left the car, he said to me, "If you ever need help with anything inside your life, I am here." Hello, my name is Christian, and this is a video about fear. Some emotion many of us have felt. Probably everybody has felt this emotion. In fact, there isn't a person that hasn't felt this emotion. And in this video, I'm going to uncover few deep, hard truths about fear. So I hope you will stay attentive. So if you have any kind of work, do it now or leave it for later. If you have some free time right now, just please give me your full focus and listen to what I am about to say, because for this video I have read a whole book about courage, which included many chapters and many things about fear itself inside it. If you are wondering about this, you can go ahead and check my courage video here. Let's begin. Point 1. What is fear? I'm pretty sure we all know about the effects of some kind of debuff inside our life. Like in a video game, for example Minecraft, whenever you were mining for something inside the ocean, out of a sudden this fish would give you this mining fatigue effect, and now you cannot mine so efficiently. Now you are actually weaker. The witch could weaken you as well, and until you drank milk and dusted yourself off, this effect would be here for a certain amount of time. Well, the same thing can happen in real life with many emotions, but one specifically, which we call fear. Fear is specifically a debuff on every single aspect of your life. Simply, whenever you feel fear, you will get this debuff on your physical performance, on your mental performance, and your overall performance in your life. You will just feel very sad, very captivating, very unmotivated. You will feel like somebody who is a loser. Basically, it's a debuff on every aspect of your life. Since I found this out, since I actually learned this about fear, I just came to the conclusion that fear, after all, is basically useless. If you have been wondering if there is any kind of useless thing upon this earth, well then, here you go. It's not spiders, it's not flies, it's not frogs, it's fear. Fear alone. That's the most useless thing upon this earth because, as I said, it has no benefits, only downsides. The upsides are zero, while the benefits are 100% high. Point 2. How to catch your fear. You may have experienced these two emotions, like the emotion when you feel something strange and you know that isn't right, and you suddenly get this jump scare inside you, like you get this burst of some kind of weird energy that kind of warns you, okay, stay back. It's not smart to go forward. But you may also have this experience where you just get the same thing, you get this warning, you get this forward warning to stay back and don't get involved, but out of a sudden you just continue to feel this, you continue to feel it, and the longer you feel it, the worse you feel. Well, when you feel the scare, when you feel the thing that actually tells you, stay back, that is called a scare. You are scared, that is a scare, and it is simply a useful warning sign, while fear, on the other hand, is this emotion that you feel constantly and it makes you worse by the second. Kind of like depression, isn't it? Basically, the longer you feel it, the longer you are in it, you will become more and more drawn inside its trap. But on the other hand, on the bright side, we can use fear and this scare as some sort of a hint. For example, you may have heard of this quote, what we fear most is usually the thing that we most need to do. And this quote is pretty damn true. In fact, I have it written down here on my wall on a piece of paper. What we fear most is usually the thing we most need to do. And what this quote means is basically the thing that your body wants to avoid, that your mind at first wants to avoid, is basically just a symbol, just a sign that you actually need to do this. That is what we call the scare, but the fear is just a useless emotion. Point 3. How to be courageous when it calls us. It's another busy day of August and I am working my 9 to 5 job in the restaurant. The shift goes by and it's 12 o'clock. I go outside and I see the chef. They are sitting with few of my co-workers and he tells me, come here, Avi. I go there and he whispers inside my ear that one of my co-workers is actually crying outside and everybody has tried to do something about it, but nobody has succeeded. So maybe I should go ahead and actually speak to this girl, because maybe I would be able to do something about it. I am here rushing home, bro, and if I am late, I will lose on my sleep. But he continues to be consistent with it. Finally decide that I will give it a shot. I go outside there and he is actually not lying. Here is my co-worker that is around my age crying on the shore. I go ahead and speak with her for a few moments and I found out that there is something specifically wrong with her. I continue to talk, just continuously trying to find the problem out, but at the end of it, I never really succeeded. But out of a sudden, I just found myself feeling this kind of scarcity to tell her that she is kind of different. She was kind of girl on self-improvement, so I felt this fear inside me. I felt like the scare of actually telling her what I feel toward her, but I did not listen to it. In fact, I just saw it and did it anyways. I told her what I felt. I told her how special she is. And then few minutes later, I just find her slowly but surely unraveling her emotions toward me as well. Not of a sudden, bro. I just found a good, high quality woman inside my life. It was that simple. And the only thing that I did was answer to the call that actually courage gave me. Just imagine had I never done this. Imagine had I never told her how I felt about her. These things, bro, wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be recording this video right now. We wouldn't be together right now. And I certainly wouldn't have any experience with a real feminine woman inside my life. This call can come in many forms, like for example, doing the hard yet right things, with speaking up, with showing your mind, with actually speaking against evil. It can show up in many forms, and it is up to you whether you will answer the call and do what you fear most, or whether you will see the fear and run away from it like a scaredy cat. It is up to you, my friend. Point 4. Can I avoid fear? In a sense, yes, bro. I say specifically in a sense because if you do avoid fear, if you do avoid your own fears, you can do it by ignorance. You can just see your fears and just ignore them. Just click and that's it. I don't feel fear anymore. I don't want to be here anymore because you are staying in your comfort zone. But if you actually want to be a man, a superior man, you will specifically need to live at your edge. And as we know, the edge, specifically the edge of the comfort zone, is full with uncomfortable things. And once you leave the comfort zone, well, that is when the real challenges come up. In reality, you can actually live a life without fear. You can live this life, but this life, believe me, it will be an empty and soulless life. You will feel like a soulless husk. You will just constantly have this plain, still line. Instead of actually having up and downs, up and downs, up and downs. Instead of having that, you will just have this line of sadness. If you actually want to have a meaningful and purposeful life, fear will always be with you. So instead of actually learning how to avoid it, you will actually need to learn how to grab it by the waist and kiss it like the most beautiful woman on the earth. You will need to make love with your own fears, because once you are at your edge, bro, you will have these fears, and it is your choice whether you will look at them in the eyes and just say, fuck, I'm fucked, I need to go back, and you actually go back, or whether you will stare at them at the eyes and just continue forward, grab your fear like a woman and actually make love to it. What I basically mean by this is that it is your choice whether you will run away from the things that scare you, or whether you will go ahead, stare at them, enjoy them, take them in, and do them anyways. It is completely your choice. And a purposeful life is a life where fear is always present. Point 5. Is there any kind of use of fear? Fear and scare is usually just a warning sign of something going wrong inside your life. There can be times when fear actually is useful. For example, you probably know of the graph where challenge and skill need to be matched in that central point in order for you to feel in the flow state. But if, for example, the challenge is too high but your skill is too low, you will feel this fear. And sometimes it can be useful because if you feel fear, if you feel anxiety while being so high on the challenge, you better level up your skill or lower down your challenge. Otherwise, you may get out with broken teeth or something like that. But these cases can be quite frequently rare because you as a human being have a natural instinction of whether this thing is up to you or whether it is too below you or too above you. So you can basically choose your challenges, choose your opponents. So at the end of it, there is some kind of use. There is this use of signalization. But at the end of it, when we actually get to the core of it, fear, as I said, is a useless emotion that you need not worry about and that you need not listen. And you may have these limiting beliefs right now that, oh, but what if you actually hear, but bro, what if you actually hear a bear and this bear attacks you and you do not fear, like you feel your fear, but you actually go inside there and actually fight with this bear. What damn, bro, it will crush your bones, it will crush your fingertips, your whole palm, bro, it will crush your neck, so you will at the end of it die, bro. You're wrong, bro, you're wrong, bro. If actually bear attacks you, I think we all know what to do. Just run away and never look back. Being courageous in this part of area for yourself, bro, is a stupid thing. Being brave in this kind of area where you're honestly and visibly outmatched is a stupid thing. So in the end of it, bro, you can make all the excuses that you want. You can say all the things that you want. You can say so many things that are unrealistic. But at the end of it, if you actually say these things, bro, I think we all know who you actually are. A stupid loser. That's it. A normal person. A person who actually learns with his mind. A person that is actually smart. And a person that is on a self-improvement. Bro, this person will not make such a stupid assumptions as this. As fighting a bear or something like that. I'm talking about real life experiences. I'm talking about experiences where you will actually have use of this advice that I just gave you. I honestly want you to succeed inside your life. I honestly want you to actually do something great with your life. I don't want you to spend your lives like everybody you see around yourself, like these waiters, 50 to 60 years old, but at the end of it, they have nothing worth living for inside their lives. In fact, they might not even have wives, let alone children. And I don't want you to end up like them, because those people are those same Jeffreys that you see around you telling you that fear is actually useful, that if you do the unconventional thing, undoubtedly you will end up being a failure. Well, these people, thanks to listening to this advice, they are where they are now. And I want you to be something above them, a person that actually lives his life to the fullest, a person that actually has as many children as he wants, and a beautiful feminine wife that actually suits him. So if you actually want to paint this picture a reality, you will need to use your fear as a sign to go forward instead of a sign to go backward. As an actionable step from this video, journal about your fears. Ask yourself some deep questions. What is my hardest fear? What is my most feared fear? What do I actually fear in business? What do I actually fear inside my everyday life? What do I actually fear inside my relationship? And answer these questions out. And I want you to create a habit tracker for yourself, where, for example, you may be afraid to hug your mother. You may be afraid to actually speak up for the right thing. Well then, write them down and actually speak up every single day. Hug your mother every single day. Do the right thing every single day, even though it's scary, even though you feel fear while doing it. Do it anyways.